Have you ever felt like giving up? Have you ever stared at your screen, your dreams slipping away, and thought, maybe this isn't for me? If you've ever felt defeated, lost, or broken, then this message is for you. Stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to share might change the way you see failure forever. Asterisk. When I began my trading journey, I believed it was just about charts, numbers, and strategies. I thought if I could predict the market, I could control my life. But reality was much harsher than I expected. Every loss felt like a personal attack. Every red bar on the screen felt like it was tearing down my confidence. I remember nights when I couldn't sleep, staring at the ceiling, asking myself, why am I even doing this? Am I wasting my time? Am I fooling myself? There were days when I felt like a complete failure, not just in trading, but in life. Because when you lose money, it's not just numbers disappearing from your account. It's your confidence, your self-belief, your dreams. I felt small, invisible, and powerless. Asterisk. But one day, in the middle of all this chaos, something hit me. I realized that the market wasn't my enemy. My biggest enemy was my own mindset. I kept thinking that failure was the end, that every loss was proof I wasn't good enough. But slowly, painfully, I started to see the truth. Failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. Every loss is a teacher in disguise. That's when I understood something powerful. You don't lose when you fail. You lose when you stop learning. Asterisk. Think about it. Everyone fails. The greatest traders, the most successful entrepreneurs, the strongest people in history, all of them have failed more times than most people even try. What makes them different is not that they avoided failure, but that they refuse to stop learning from it. Failure is not a wall that blocks you. It's a mirror that shows you who you are and where you need to grow. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every wrong turn hides a message. The question is, are you willing to listen, or will you let failure silence you? Most people quit right before they are about to grow. They face setbacks and think, this is the end. But the truth is, the end only comes when you decide to stop trying, stop improving, stop learning. Until then, failure is just part of the process. Asterisk. I'm not saying this because it sounds good. I'm saying this because I lived it. I've been there, staring at losses, questioning my worth, doubting my abilities. And yet, every time I chose to learn instead of quit, I came back stronger. The lessons weren't just about trading. They were about patience, discipline, and resilience. They taught me how to handle fear, how to control greed, how to stay calm when everything inside me wanted to panic. The market became a mirror for my own soul. It showed me my weaknesses. And with every failure, I got the chance to turn those weaknesses into strength. Asterisk. And you know what? This lesson doesn't just apply to trading. It applies to life. When relationships fail, when careers don't go as planned, when dreams collapse, you don't truly lose. You only lose if you stop learning from it. Because as long as you're willing to learn, to adapt, to grow, every failure becomes a stepping stone. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall 100 times, but not once do they think, maybe walking isn't for me. They fall, they get up, and they try again. And that's why every child eventually walks. So why is it that when we grow up, we forget the simple truth? Why do we treat failure as the end, instead of as the path to mastery? Asterisk. I want you to think about your own journey right now. Where have you failed? Where have you fallen? What did you give up on just because it felt too hard? Now imagine if instead of quitting, you had chosen to learn. Imagine the skills you could have gained. Imagine the person you could have become. The truth is, your story is not over. You're still here, still breathing, still capable of change, which means it's not too late. It's never too late. Asterisk. So, the next time you fail, whether it's in trading, in work, in relationships, or in chasing your dream, remember this. You don't lose when you fail. You lose when you stop learning. Let your failures teach you. Let them shape you. Let them prepare you for the victory that's waiting on the other side of persistence. And if my words touch you, then join me on this journey. Subscribe, be part of this story, and together we will rise, not because we never failed, but because we never stopped learning. Asterisk. But let me ask you something. What does hope look like to you? Is it a big victory, a huge success, or thousands of people cheering your name? Or could it be something much smaller, something so tiny that most people would overlook it? Asterisk. When I first uploaded my videos, I had no idea what to expect. I thought maybe nobody would watch, maybe nobody would care. And honestly, that thought terrified me. Because when you put your heart into something, when you pour your struggles, your emotions, your pain into words and share it with the world, silence can be the loudest answer. There were days I checked my channel, and the views barely moved. 1, 2, maybe 5 people clicked. No comments, no likes, just numbers that felt too small to matter. I remember staring at my screen and thinking maybe this was a mistake. Maybe I'm wasting my time again. But then something unexpected happened. I received a comment. Just one. A stranger, someone I had never met, wrote a few words. "Thank you. This helped me." And in that moment, I realized something. That one view, that one comment, carried more weight than 1,000 empty numbers. Because behind every view is a real human being. Behind every click is someone searching for meaning, someone fighting their own battles, someone needing to hear exactly what I had to say. It was then that I understood I may be a tiny YouTuber, but every view is a spark of hope. Asterisk. Asterisk. Hope doesn't come from millions of subscribers or viral fame. Hope comes from connection. Even if it's just one person, if I can touch one life, ease one mind, or inspire one heart to keep going, then it's worth it. You see, we live in a world obsessed with numbers. More likes, more followers, more views, as if our worth is measured by digits on a screen. But here's the truth. Numbers don't create meaning. Connection does. One person who truly listens, one person who truly feels what you're saying. That's where hope is born. I remind myself of this every time doubt creeps in, because doubt is loud. It tells you you're too small. No one cares. Stop wasting your time. And sometimes I almost believe it. But then I remember the faces behind those views, the silent stories behind those clicks. And I realize hope doesn't need a crowd to exist. It just needs a spark. Maybe you're listening right now and you feel invisible too. Maybe you feel like your efforts don't matter, that no one notices you, that your dream is too small to chase. I know that pain. I know that silence. But I'm here to tell you, you matter. Your story matters. Even if one person sees it, even if one soul is touched by it, you have already created something powerful. Because impact is not measured by size. It's measured by depth. A candle doesn't light up the whole world, but it can still break the darkness in one room. A single spark may not burn down a forest, but it can ignite a flame strong enough to grow. I carry this truth with me every time I record, every time I upload, every time I wonder if it's worth it. And the answer always comes back the same. Yes, because if even one person feels hope through my voice, then the struggle, the sleepless nights, the fears, they all find their meaning. So let me return to the question I asked at the beginning. What does hope look like to you? To me, it looks like this. Hope looks like one comment that says, "Thank you." Hope looks like a single view on a video where I share my heart. Hope looks like connection. No matter how small, that reminds us we are not alone. I may be just a tiny YouTuber, but every view, every person who listens, is proof that hope is real. And as long as there is hope, I will keep going. Because sometimes all it takes is one spark to keep the fire alive. Asterisk. Asterisk. After everything I've been through, the failures, the small sparks of hope, the endless nights of questioning myself, I realized something far bigger than trading. Something that goes beyond charts, beyond profits, beyond even my channel. This journey I'm on, it's not just a trading journey. It's the journey of being human. Because when you look closely, trading is just a mirror. It reflects who you are, your fears, your patience, your greed, your discipline. The market doesn't lie. It simply shows you yourself. And isn't life the same? Life tests us the way the market does, with uncertainty, with ups and downs, with moments of victory and moments of crushing defeat. Every time I face a loss in trading, I also face a loss in my heart. Every time I fought to stay calm through volatility, I realized I was also fighting to stay calm through the storms of life. Trading became more than a skill. It became a training ground for my soul. Think about it. Life, just like trading, is unpredictable. You can study, prepare, and plan, but still, life will throw you into situations you never expected. Sometimes you'll win, sometimes you'll lose, but the real test isn't the outcome. It's who you become in the process. I've learned that discipline in trading is discipline in life. Patience with the market is patience with people. Accepting losses without breaking down is the same as accepting the hardships of life without letting them destroy your spirit. Every chart, every bar, every moment staring at the screen taught me more about myself than I could have ever imagined. And maybe that's the real purpose of this journey. Not just to make money, not just to master craft, but to master myself. When I say this isn't just a trading journey, it's the journey of being human. I mean that every single one of us is in a kind of market, a market of choices, risks, emotions, and dreams. Some of us trade stocks. Some of us trade time. Some of us trade our energy, our love, our trust. But all of us, we're trading something. And through that process, we're learning who we really are. The highs of trading are like the highs of life. The moments when everything feels aligned, when success is within your grasp. But the lows, they are the true teachers. They humble you, they break your illusions, and they force you to grow. Without the lows, the highs would mean nothing. Without the pain, joy would have no value. And that's why I no longer see myself as just a trader. I see myself as a human being on a path of growth. Trading is simply the stage where my lessons unfold. Sometimes, people ask me why I keep going even when the results are small, when the struggles are heavy, when the doubts are loud. And my answer is simple, because this journey is not just about the end goal. It's about the person I become along the way. You see, life doesn't care about your wins and losses the way you think it does. Life cares about what you learn, how you transform, and how you carry those lessons forward. Every failure shaped me into someone stronger. Every small spark of hope reminded me why I started. And every step, no matter how painful, pushed me further along the path of becoming the person I was meant to be. So if you're listening right now, I want you to see your own journey the same way. Maybe your struggle isn't trading. Maybe it's your career, your relationships, your health, or even just finding the strength to get out of bed every morning. Whatever it is, know this. You are not just moving through challenges. You are moving through life itself. And every obstacle you face is part of your evolution. Don't dismiss your failures. Don't underestimate the small victories. Because all of it, the wins, the losses, the sparks, the silence, all belongs to your story. And your story is a journey of being human. This is why I share my journey here, through this channel. Not because I have all the answers, but because I believe our stories matter. Because maybe when I speak, someone out there feels less alone. And maybe when you share your story, someone else finds the courage to keep going too. At the end of the day, trading gave me something I never expected. It gave me life lessons. It gave me resilience. It gave me perspective. And it gave me the understanding that success is not just reaching a destination. Success is living through the journey, learning, growing, and becoming more human along the way. So yes, I began this as a trading journey. But what I found was so much more. I found myself. And maybe that's the point for all of us. Because when you really think about it, this isn't just a trading journey. This is a journey of being human. Asterisk, looking back now, I see that this entire journey, the failures, the lessons, the sparks of hope, it was never just about trading. It was about life. We don't lose when we fail. We lose when we stop learning. We don't need millions of people to validate us. Sometimes, even a single spark is enough to keep the fire alive. And in the end, this isn't just about charts or markets. This is about the raw, human journey we all share of falling, of rising, of becoming. So if you're watching this and you've ever felt like giving up, remember this. Your story is not over yet. Every failure is teaching you. Every spark is guiding you. And every step you take is shaping the person you're becoming. I may just be a tiny YouTuber today, but my voice reaches you. And if my words touched you, then know this: you are not alone. Join me on this journey. Subscribe, share, and let's grow together. Because this is not just my journey. This is our journey. This is a journey of being human. Asterisk,